Well, I very first got here and already discovered the first problem with my kit. So the camera clip fit pretty well when I first tried it out, but when I really got it cranked down so that it held on to the backpack strap, the screws were sticking out into my chest. So that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna be relying on my phone for this trip, which is kind of sucky. I had really hoped for some epic pictures today, which hopefully the phone will do a good job, but it would have been nice to have the camera. So this isn't even a 6-mile trip, but it's rated as difficult on all trails because of the elevation gain. It's also quite a scramble to the top from what I see. But I'm just going to take it easy. It's been about a month since my last good hike. I've loaded the backpack up with about 15 pounds of gear just to give it a decent trial. Feels heavier than I expected though. I mean, I almost didn't believe my scale when I first saw it. Ooh, cool trail. I'm really liking the Z-Packs bottle clip. Bottle just kind of hangs right there, doesn't get in the way, doesn't bounce around too much. So one thing I do have to say about the Gregory is that it does not have very many straps. Hello. You coming from the lake or the peak? From the lake. Oh yeah? Nice. I'm hoping to go to the peak. We'll see. Kind of doing a gear test here. The first time I had this backpack on, so.
Looks like a long way up to the peak.
Yeah, I heard it's a bit of a scramble too, so I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Can't really go wrong out here though.
Yeah, for sure. It's beautiful.
Take care. All right, well, I'm about a half mile in, and I've cinched up the load lifters a bit. It's kind of nice and snug against the back now. I can tell there is a bit of airflow coming through the back. There is a bit of an arch. I mean, I can get my hand behind my back. It comes in contact right below the shoulder blades, so it's really only about kind of the mid-back that's getting the benefits of the air. There was a bit of a pinch at first. The front of the hip belt is very thin, little tiny buckle, and that probably wouldn't matter a whole lot if all it was doing was cinching onto my hips, but because I've got a gut hanging out, which I'm not going to show you, not comfortable, but there's nothing a backpack can do about that. I'm just going to need to lose some weight if I want to be a comfortable hiker. So, onward and upward. I can't see my camera right now, but I believe behind me, if you can see the video clearly, there we go. Let's see if I can stabilize this a little bit. There's Half Dome, Clouds Rest. Pretty nice elevation up here. Well, looks like I'm here. This must be May Lake. Yeah, there's a nice little campground here. This wasn't bad at all. Sorry about the bouncing, but I don't have my good camera. Let's see what we got here. Very pretty out here. This is a great lake, and there is a substantial campground. You know, bathrooms, potable water, the whole deal. Can't swim in the lake. Sorry, kids. Right now I am headed, I guess, up to the peak. No trail signs out here or anything. The trail's pretty obvious so far, but I've read on all trails that it gets kind of difficult to follow. So we'll see how that goes. All right, well, according to the map, I'm about to start the incline section of this hike. If I did my math correctly, this section averages about a little over 800 feet per mile, so it's going to be pretty steep. By way of comparison, the infamous Clouds Rest mile of switchbacks is 1,000 feet, pretty much on the nose. This is about 80% of that, a little over 80% of that, and it looks pretty exposed. So let's see how it goes. And for the record, I am now exactly 1 hour into this hike. It is 10:20. Trail, where are you? Well, I know I'm going up there, so it's got to be that way somewhere. Yeah, I'm definitely not on the trail. Pretty sure I'm supposed to get on top of that other rock, but I mean, come on, really? None of this really looks super trailish. That kind of looks like it right there. But the GPS seems to indicate I need to be up there, so the GPS says that it's higher, so I'm gonna trust the GPS, see what happens. That was a climb. Yeah, I was down there. But the good news is, walked right onto the trail. Not too much of a disaster. So, next. One thing I forgot to add is that during that climb, the backpack felt pretty good. I mean, I was pretty much climbing almost straight up out of there, and the backpack rode pretty well. Yeah, kind of impressed. I think it's starting to settle in. Yeah, the view from here isn't too bad. But I want to go there sometime. All right, almost there, probably 5 more minutes. Pretty much just zigzagging up this hill. There's not really switchbacks as such. It's pretty much just kind of walking up this rock and just kind of making your own deal. There are quite a number of cairns along the way here. So you can see one right in front of me and another one down there. And if you look carefully, you might be able to see a few of the other ones. Elevation-wise, that's looking across at Clouds Rest. Moving across, there's Half Dome. Across from Half Dome is North Dome. And Indian Ridge was there about a month ago. Cool. So there's the lake where I started. Over there is Tenaya Lake, which means that's the beginning of the Clouds Rest hike. You can see the entire trail up to Clouds Rest. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you bring a paper map. So, pretty much a straight shot to the top. It looks like I've got to go just kind of to the left of the peak. So I think I'm oriented right now. So there's a little knob on the right, peak on the left, kind of just straight up toward it and just stay a little bit to the left of the steepest part. So I'm probably at 10,000 feet right now. over 10,000 feet. This is pushing like Mount Lassen level here. I mean, if I didn't know I was looking at Half Dome, it barely even seems to stand out. There's just so much rock. I mean, there's like 5 domes right there. For those who are wondering about the difficulty rating, I would say that this is harder climbing than Clouds Rest because you don't have the nice, neat little steps in the switchbacks that you do on the Clouds Rest climb. I mean, you're pretty much just, you know, taking whatever step you can. Very easy to walk off trail. A lot of ankle turners. But this is pretty spectacular. I feel like I am almost level with Clouds Rest now. Definitely above Half Dome, without question. Starting to see the whole valley open up down there. That's what I was seeing on the map. The summit's over there. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there's a tower there. Oh, I love hiking in decomposed granite. It's both slippery and sharp. It's like sand and a rock slide all in one. I'm too tired to finish the song. All right, for the record, 3 hours. I'm about to top this ridge. All right, what do we got? Oh, look at this. Snow. Whoa. Whoa. Look at that. Wonder how steep it is at the edge of that snow. Probably shouldn't go find out. But you know what? What if somebody on the way up wants to know how the snow is? I won't be able to help them. Oh, not bad. Pretty solid. Trekking poles. Wow, this is like super solid. I can't even get my poles in here. All right. A little slippery. I can still see rocks under me. Yeah, I'm not going out any further there. Wow. Beautiful. Okay, I gotta check this out. Nobody tell my mom that I was walking on that. No, it's totally solid. Totally solid. Wow. There's a giant peak of snow right there. What's down here? Giant gully. Is this 10 Lakes? Oh, that's got to be it, because check it out. There's another one over there. I almost did that trail today, but it starts a lot farther back on Tioga Pass and ends up being like twice as far. But I think I'm going to have to be making that trip fairly soon. Okay, time to decide what to do about this thing. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes since I last checked in. I'm about halfway up this thing. Pretty much just giving up with the trail and just hand over hand in it right now. It's a tad steep, but I am almost there. Got people coming up, see them stop down there on the trail. Figured out a cool little hack for my trekking poles. They're just going through the recursive strapping on my hip belt, and they're actually really nice right there. I was starting to really miss my stow on the go system from the Exos, which is still really nice. But this actually works just as fast, and they are fine right where they are. So, last push for real this time. This is going to be really fun coming down. But in the meantime, on top, look at that. Well, I guess if I can do this with the Gregory, I can probably handle the Camino. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to come up that side. And there it is. All right, it is 1:40. I just came off the top. Coming back, if you kind of just go down the ridge to that cool looking rock sticking out there, you can pretty easily serpentine your way down to here, instead of coming straight down from there, which is how I went up. Talked to a couple guys about the snowfield over there, and I'm headed out. So 1:40, we'll see. Looks like I spent about, I guess about an hour up on the top. Not bad. Met a few people, got a few hero pictures taken of each other, and now I'm heading out. All right, well, that was a pretty crazy descent. It's about 2:30, so I guess it took about an hour. even on the trail I came in on. Actually, I know I'm not because I never saw that. But as long as I haven't climbed out of the giant granite bowl, I'm safe. Wabam, trail. Okay, so if you remember me getting off trail at this point, this is where I was, and that's the trail. See? It's right there. Yeah, I think it was almost harder coming down the actual trail than it was just climbing out of the gully myself. So when I came in, I was right down there. And I came around and then climbed that. So that was pretty close, not too bad. So now I just need to get from here to right there. I will be on my way. So this is the cool thing about this hike. If you try to find a trail at any given time, once you're past May Lake, it's really hard to tell where the heck you're supposed to go as far as the trail. However, if you just kind of pay attention to your surroundings, I mean, it's pretty obvious, not going over there. It's pretty obvious I'm not climbing this. That notch is probably where I'm headed. And it is. As long as you're heading toward that notch, you're good. Once you get to that notch, you just keep climbing. You have a big ridge to your right. You stay along that ridge, and then you see a big rock pile above you. You climb straight up to that rock pile. And by the time you're almost at the left side of the rock pile, if you look to your left, you'll see a big sawtooth looking ridge. And the top of that ridge has an antenna on it, and that's your goal. This would actually be an excellent hike to take kids on to teach them some trail craft, because it's good to get a little bit of confidence that you can find your way around even if you don't have a marked trail. And one of the features of this hike is that there are no markings. So you are pretty much going to be doing some trail craft whether you want to or not. It'd be pretty hard to get lost. I mean, look at where I am now. Okay, granted, there's a pretty obvious trail here, but you know, it's not like you're accidentally going to take a left and try to get up on top of that. And you can see little bits of the lake here and there. Another thing that might be fun if you're out here with kids would be to try to circumnavigate May Lake here. I would guess that's probably a mile around. And, you know, there's some steep rock and there's some trees that you'd have to get through. It's probably kind of swampy out there. But by and large, I'm pretty sure you could make it around the lake. Doing a little bouldering and stuff. Nothing too intense. Ta-da! Officially at May Lake. It is 3:20, so I've officially been out here for 6 hours. Been very nice, pretty much as scheduled so far. I just need to get down the hill to the car and head out. I spent about an extra hour here than I thought I would. The way up was a bit more strenuous than I was planning on, but good day overall. And that about does it. Hey, look, a trail sign. All right, well, it is 3:45. I am back at the parking lot. Good hike. My shoulders are tight. My neck is a little tight. I don't really feel like the backpack was uncomfortable really at any point. It's just my muscles are not really set up for backpacking right now. This is the first time I've been out with a loaded backpack in like decade. You know, I did take the Exos out a few times, but it was very minimal loads. It was basically being used as a big day pack. This time I got the pack up to about 15 pounds. Definitely a difference. Arms are tired, shoulders are tired, neck's a little tired. But I don't feel like it was a bad ride. I think I just need to get stronger. So far the Gregory Optic 48 has been pretty dang cool.